If you see back to the German history of wine growing, so it's we started maybe in the 40s or in the 50s of the last century to label wines with the cépage, with the varietals, and in the time before, the vineyard sites names or the village names were much more important than after the Second World War. And we had a big decision in wine law in 1971, and in our eyes, it was the baddest thing what could happen to German wine tradition was that we made the origin of the wine totally unimportant. Yes, it could be chosen by many different things, and we saw that the importance of the varieties on the labels was in some ways part of the way down of German wine, and so we started in the 90s for a revival of our really great vineyard sites. And we saw now, after 20 years of that process, that German wine is on a way back to his glorious times. Nobody thought that could happen with German wine. And so maybe but the ideas here in France gave me, in some cases, maybe a different view at that point. Maybe it's for the total basic production, yeah? It could be the right thing to concentrate on the varietals, because it's easier for a consumer which is not very interested in what he is drinking, just he is interested that it's a nice drinking wine, that he knows easier what happens when he opens the bottle. And but we think, especially for the quality producers, we have to focus nearly exclusively on our vineyard sites. And so for us, the name of the variety on the label, it's less and less important. So on our top wines, the Großes Gewächs wines, which are a category in the direction of a Grand Cru, we just name it on the back labels. We just use on the front label the name of the vineyard site because it's clear that it is a Riesling. And so it's and we see that sometimes the vineyard site is much more important in the taste of the wine than a Riesling or a name of the variety could show to you. So especially that variety Riesling could be so different from an easy drinking light wine to a very complex wine in very different variations. And so we see that it's very important to come back to our vineyard sites and to concentrate on that. And another thing we discuss in Germany in the moment is that the EU program to allow planting of vineyards everywhere makes German wine growers in the basic levels much more problems than maybe the French producers. If you sell a Chablis, there is no problem if anyone in the world plants more Chardonnay. You have your Chablis and you sell it, and it's exclusively for you. And if you see in Germany, in the basic level at the supermarkets, it's just Riesling, it's Müller-Thurgau, it's maybe Spätburgunder, and everyone could do it everywhere, yeah. And so that's we have a totally different view on that what's happening than the French do, maybe in some kinds, because we had that problem of the decisions of the 70s.